Hello, out there.
Oh, yes, Elisa, can you hear us?
This one ready?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, great.
Do you feel us?
Oh, it's the energy.
Feel
Okay, we're ready? Good. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year to those that I didn't see. Okay, so this is our caucus. For the city of Kingston. All alders are here with the exception of Alderman Tony Davis and.
Tony is online.
Oh, Tony is online, okay. Also, with the exception of Alderwoman Michelle Hirsch. And Alderman Tony Davis is online. She will join us, but she said she would be late. Okay, so I guess the first thing on the agenda is I'm going to call for a motion to, accept Ian Donaldson as temporary chair.
I move to accept Ian as temporary chair.
Second by Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you, Rita. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the honor of letting me be temporary chair. For the purposes of nominating and putting in a new majority leader, I'm going to ask for a nomination. Right?
I would like to nominate Rita Worthington to reprise her role as majority leader. I think Rita has shown outstanding leadership, a wonderful sense of how to lead by calm and measured presence, an ability to delegate carefully and succinctly, wonderful humor to bring to the work that we do. So for all those reasons and more, I nominate.
Great. Thank you. Is there a second?
a second.
Oh, my name is, I'm going first. Awesome. Are there any other nominations for the purpose of majority leader? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? All those in favor of installing Rita Worthington as majority leader for the year of 2023, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes, and I will pass the meeting back to Rita. Congratulations.
This reminds me of the Kevin McCarthy thing.
We did it the first time.
Oh, we got it on the first try.
See if we can do it, I'll do it.
I would try to fight someone.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Ian. Thank you guys,
Careful.
my fellow common
Strong
council
as an
members. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your words when it's ready. And thank you for letting me lead you. And hopefully 2023 will be as good as 2022. Okay? All right, with that, we're gonna call our caucus meeting into session, into order now. And does everyone have a legislation list?
They're here.
Yeah, I'll take a paper one.
I would say yes.
You want one here?
Everyone got one?
Okay. All right, so as is my practice, we have resolutions on our list. Whichever committee it came out of, we let that person go ahead and in essence, just tell us what that's about. We're looking at these, most of these did come out of the finance committee. So Rennie, you are on board, so let us know what's going on. Well, the first, oh, no, you're right, the first few.
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
you
on
want
that
me to start
order
over
of
the
business. Sorry?
Do you want me to go over that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, because tomorrow's our organizational meeting, so we just have to take care of our annual business. So the first one is approval for adopting the Penn Order of Business for the year 2023. These are just, nothing has changed in that. The resolution 2 is the rules, which I've sent you today. Warned you about it last week and finalized it this morning. The only thing that I changed, well, two things. One substantive, but it's just to add in the state mandated workplace training that we started doing this year, that we will need to do every year. And I figured because we haven't been doing it and we were supposed to do it, having it in the council rules will be a reminder each year to accomplish it. I talked to Tawana Washington, and it gives the 3 ways in which we can do it, which is doing the training, which they do in the fall and in place, which doesn't work out for most of us because it's during the day. But as soon as I get that, I'll forward that to you all in the fall. So if you opt to do it that way, you can do it in person here. The second way is if you're an employer, you have to do it to your employer, you could just send that documentation to Tawana. And then the third is we're going to soon have a video course through the city of Kingston. So that will be really nice if you don't have to do this through your employer. If you haven't done it for 2022, the deadline is the 31st. So if you could work on getting that done. So that's just, I think I put it as rule 4 and then change the numbers for all the remaining rules. And then the only other change is I just fixed the 2 grammar tweaking here and there. So if you read through it, the only other thing I mentioned in the email is the one on the website was not updated from when we amended it. I think over the summer after the virtual participation local law. So if you are comparing the 2, you'll see that difference, but it's what we've been practicing, what we already voted on. So I just added that in, and it's all on the website already. So does anyone have any questions? Okay. And then resolution 3 is recommending approval for the Daily Freeman as the official newspaper. Resolution 4 is recommending approval for receiving the mayor's message. So that's just us allowing the mayor to come give the state of the city address. 5 and 6 are just approving the policies that haven't changed. And I think that is it for the organizational meeting.
The mayor's state of the city is next month?
It is tomorrow night?
Tomorrow. So we are approving it so he can do it the same day.
Correct. So, yeah, I don't think it's ever been disapproved. But that would be quite a night. Yeah. So those 5 are just kind of our standard and the only changes in the rules, not really a change in practice, just, well, I guess sort of, but following the rules.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. President.
Andrew's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so Randy, I'm going to turn it over to you because it looks like many of these are added in finance committee.
Right, unfortunately, they're not in the same order as we dealt with them in the finance committee, so we have to go back and forth a little bit here. Okay, so resolution 5, adopting the payment receipt policy and repealing the cash receipt policy. These are both basically internal administrative issues for John Toohey's office. There's no, this just has to do with administrative practice. There's no financial consequence of this change. Any questions, concerns, issues? Anybody got a problem with changing the way we do the administration of cash and payments?
No.
No, I am thinking about it.
No. They're just getting an electronic, some kind of electronic system, right?
Yeah. Slowly continuing the process we've been walking towards.
Okay.
All right.
I think I got. Just go through your list. I can keep track of which ones we're checking off. Does that help, Shirley?
Did you say they were out of order, Randy?
Yeah,
The
they're
ones
not
that
the
you
same
have-
order as we dealt with them.
That we have on the list is not the same order that you have?
No, then finance.
The finance.
Oh, I see.
Why don't you just go through what you have and
We'll
Yeah,
figure
we'll
it
figure it out,
Team
we'll
figure
find
it
out, yeah.
just talk slow?
Okay, well then the first one is the budget transfer request for the Kingston Fire Department. That was for basically a pass-through.
You have a resolution number?
15.
Yeah, from Chief Ray. And that's for the mobile mental health grant, which is part of trying to beef up their mental health services. The second one was the request for removal of fees for 371 Albany Avenue.
18.
Janet Higgins. So this is one of the things we've done before, prior sale and all that. So this is $0 impact on the city. The next one is the budget transfer request from Corporation Counsel. It's from Corporation Counsel. This is for attorney fees, which will draw $93,500 from contingency, paid for required services. Then we have a budget transfer from the Department of Public Works. This is also zero financial impact on the city.
That's number 8.
Looks like maybe we're not. The next one is a budget transfer in Parks and Recreation. Again, this is internal book balancing from Lindsay Timbrook, 0%, $0 impact. There are 2 budget transfer requests from planning. Both of them are internal. So
The Parks and Rec was 17. And then the planning, 19 and 20, what were you saying?
19.
19 is 20?
Dimitri?
yeah,
Okay. And 20 was the,
Yeah.
4465.
yes. So another, just internal budget transfer. Those are both in planning. Both of them have 0 impact. The next one is a budget transfer request from KPD. Remember, this is also 0%, $0 impact.
21.
Just to balance some books. The next one that I have is the property tax exemption for ADU. Let's see. That may not have been translated into a resolution yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I saw it.
It should be.
I saw it on here.
My finger cut off.
That one's still looking on stage.
I think I saw it today. It's not on our list, but I saw it when I was going over it today, the list today. Is that the updated? She said this.
Hey, Elisa?
There's an updated one on the site.
Elisa, you there?
That was Andrea, I'm sorry.
We misplaced the resolution.
Which one?
What is it? The
Property
resolution?
tax exemption for ADUs.
I can't hear any. What did he say?
Property tax exemption for ADUs.
And it's not on there?
None of us are finding it.
Doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay, I'll have to, that would have come from Corp Counsel, so I need to make a note of that.
It came from Bartek.
Right, I mean, it would have, right, what I meant is the resolution would have been written in Corp
Yeah.
Counsel's office.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, it's definitely not here, Elisa. So do you want to take care of that tomorrow, or do you want me to?
I'll try to track it. Is there? I don't know if there would have been a committee report, correct?
What's she said?
Was there a committee report? It passed that committee, right?
It did, and well, out of finance, it could be, it passed out of there, right?
I remember
Yeah.
talking about it and
And
As I remember.
for some reason, I thought I saw it today when I was looking over the legislation list.
all right, Lisa, why don't you and I just check in tomorrow morning?
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
yep. I will hold your breath, everyone. You're informed.
Okay, and then there are 3 applications that we approved. These are just applications for grant, so I suppose this is number 13, or all 3 under number 13,
Yeah.
No, they're 3 separate.
each separate one.
Yeah, there's 12 also.
Oh, I see, yeah, that's for that.
13.
While you're looking for that, Janet did type that resolution up, so we just have to find it. So the committee did pass it. The restore, that's 10, 9, 10, and 12. No,
There's 13.
10, 12, 13. No,
That's,
the Empire State grants are 9, 10, and 12. 13 is the different, it's the DOT grant.
Renee, you want me to read these and you just tell us what it's about, since you're looking for them, or?
The different grants,
Yeah.
you can try my memory.
Mm-hmm.
You can try my memory.
So 10 was authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the Empire State for the historic grant. And that was in the amount of
Oh,
$2
right,
million.
yeah, so 2 of these are based on the behalf of other groups, right?
Yeah,
So that one was CB developers.
That was the Charles Bender projects, the old St. Joseph's
Oh,
building.
right, the St. Joseph School,
He's turning it, what is it, office space and
multi-use. yeah.
multi-use. But the idea is just, we're saying we support it.
Mhm.
They need that,
Sure.
they need the support of the municipality in order to
And
apply for the grant.
it's the same for the art court grant, that artists who are trying to develop a space. They're doing art projects, in the Rondout area. And then those are the 2 support ones, but then there's
And 9 too. I think that's-
9.
That's endorsing support for Ulster County for a grant from the New York State Empire State Development Corporation for the Arts McCutcheon Boiler Building Removal Project.
Yes. So that is what it
That's the
says.
same.
Yes, okay. No, this is that one here. Okay, then the next one that I have is the proposed fee schedule. So this is the same as the one that was originally proposed from administration, but we increased the fees for tow trucks. We used a lot of data from around the area, so we can increase the fees that tow truck drivers charge for various kinds of services, so they would be in line with what other municipalities and governments in the area charge.
do we know what that fee is?
There were various fees depending on like what the services were, cars, big, tractor trailers, all had different fees. We pretty much decided to just mirror the town of Ulster's. Because that's the one that we're in close contact with, that we do the most commonly. So we figured to just mirror what they had.
Yeah,
Should be on the website, on the agenda too.
Yeah. Ours hasn't been updated in very long time.
Okay, that was 11.
Yes.
You received a budget transfer request from the comptroller.
22.
Again, that's moving money internally within the department, so it's $0 concern there. 17, well, we did all the Restore New York grants, right?
Yeah, we still,
So we have
the New York State Department.
Yeah, then the ones DOT, financial for the bridge project. So these are regarding approvals of applications, so there's no financial impact at this point.
that's 13.
All right.
Number 13.
Then there's the budget transfer request from Health and Wellness. Emily
Where's
Flynn. That one is also $0 impact. Does that cover them all?
One more.
Then there's another Public Works, number 16. And then that should be all.
Does that one have some money impact?
One of them did
This is 23,000.
23,000, but then the other one was 39,000. I think one of them had an impact. One of them did not, if I believe, if I remember correctly.
16 doesn't look like it would have a, that's a budget transfer, 16.
Yeah, 8
$22,000.
must be the one that has an impact, or maybe I'm not remembering correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
No impact on either?
that's the problem. I don't have a
No.
separate listing for that in the December finance.
I think 8 was just a transfer too.
Oh,
And
I really
39,
was separate, so I don't know what happened there.
yeah, that's to cover shortfalls.
The 39,869 was 0 impact.
Okay, and I wrote 0.
And I think that's it, Renee, for you.
I hope so.
That's not what we want, right? The last one is 23. Right? And that was just the referral of the form-based code
job.
to the planning board. So there was no action on that, we just referred it to the.
Yeah,
planning
Lisa
board.
will send that out, and then I'm working on getting the dates ready so that you know that's gonna be like I think Bartek and I mapped it out to be a 5-month process. Not as condensed as redistricting, so most of it will just take place during regular meetings. But hoping to get to that pretty soon, but we do need to call a laws and rules public hearing early February. So I'll work with Rita to get a date in the committee and call that sometime this week, hopefully get it on the calendar.
And they'll have 90 days, right? The people we're referring to.
Not 90, it's 30.
Oh, it's 30. Okay.
But we won't, the council won't be voting on it, I think either not until May or June. I don't remember exactly how I mapped that out, so I mean, there'll be plenty of time to get comments to council members. But officially, it's a 30-day public comment period with the public hearing. And then we'll also have to do the seeker, which that will have public hearings also. No.
Yeah, okay. And then we have the first readings tomorrow, the local law.
Yeah, no,
1 and 2 tomorrow.
you want to fill in with the redistricting, or do you
Yeah,
want?
I want to give an update on the redistricting when are we done with the list?
We're done with the list, so, sorry.
Go ahead.
So you can go first, and I also want to, you want to talk about just the dates that's coming up too for the many dates that you sent out.
Yeah. I can reaffirm it.
Many dates.
Yeah.
I'll check everybody's calendars as I walk over your shoulders.
Okay, go ahead, Robert.
Okay, yeah, I just want to give an update on the redistricting process. So we are on a extremely fast track this week. I have to say, let's see, so the public hearing is Thursday night here in council chambers, 6 p.m. It'll be hybrid. Spanish translation. We're gonna have maps here in the beginning, so people, first few minutes, people can look around at the maps, maybe ask some questions. Andrea, you're gonna preside at the public hearing?
Is that okay with you?
Totally.
Oh,
I am doing a lot of community outreach. I find that when I inform people what Plan C is, just a few minutes, they are totally engaged and they think it's like absolutely, like really great. But it takes those minutes. Otherwise, I think people want the least change because it's maybe without a little explanation, Plan C it's not evident what's trying to be achieved or is achieved in it. So I just want to say that I've been reaching out to the various aldermen just to see if you want to know what I've been learning, because every time I talk to someone, I learn more. So say on Sunday, I went and spoke to a reverend at a Latino church over in Elmendorf and Tramper. That was fascinating to look at Plan A and Plan C and to actually, he could see where his church was and maybe where his his parishioners were from. So that was a whole discussion that was very interesting. And I think in Plan C, we're trying to achieve some diversity in each ward. And I think it achieves that in this way that keeps revealing itself to me. I also did speak today with Pastor Rob Sweeney at the Old Dutch Church, and in 15 minutes, he was like looking at it, Plan C in a whole other way also, which was, where is his church? If he writes a grant, how does he find funding if he has a certain constituent, certain. So it's been unfolding. And the comments regarding C just are, they're very educational. And regardless of what plan is chosen, I think the mapper's done a great job. And I'm really impressed with our subcommittee showing up for those meetings. I'm going to be on one of the Radio Kingston shows. I'm also learning about outreach that can be used in other outreach efforts, like Radio Kingston, and then La Voz has a whole package to reach the Latino population, which, so it's cool, and I'm happy to be able to impart that. But again, if anybody wants to know a little bit more about Plan C, because Plan A is pretty evident, but there are changes in that also. I did send around the comments today that I had to date. And I'm not sure that's the right format, but send them around, and there were a few more that came in today. So please, if you get anyone to write down their comments, that's useful. But again, encourage people to come to the public forum, public hearing, and right after it, we're going to go into, I think it's the Laws and Rules Committee.
Yep.
That will be taking right then the comments to date and from the hearing and
Choosing
and
map that we're going to.
right, choose them, know what we're going to give, what directions we're going to give to the mappers to have a map by Tuesday, which in Laws and Rules, is that true?
You want me to go over it? Do you want me to take over?
Yeah, because the Tuesday, that part I'm missing, because
I'll do the date.
Monday is the Martin Luther King holiday. Okay.
Before you take over, sorry, just before you take over, I just want to say, Barbara, as the chair of the subcommittee for the redistricting committee, has been absolutely phenomenal. And so we thank you. You're doing a fantastic job. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no guidance in our charter, in our rules. None of us have done this before, or council has not done this in a specific municipality. So everybody stepped in, and Barbara leading through this with none of us really knowing, following in anybody's footsteps. We're creating our own footsteps, but hopefully 10 years from now, when I'm long gone, that the next set of people
Define gone.
all the way down the block. We'll,
So I want to give kudos to Barbara GP, Barbara Graves Poller,
Who's listening?
because without her, I would not be here today. No, I mean, she's exceptional and her staff is
They've
exceptional.
been great. Thank you, Barbara.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
and
think the
Jonathan.
mayor's staff has been very helpful, Summer Smith. Yeah, I feel like it's been a team effort and it's a big learning curve for me, so, got to know Lisa Tinty a bit here and there, so it's quite a thing, but I think we're very fortunate. And, my mother told me to say thank you, but I forgot to say that. Thank you for your niceness. All right, so that's that. But again, if anybody, Michael,
What about my license?
you were phenomenal. You're always phenomenal, but you're everywhere, in every committee, everywhere. I don't know. You're amazing.
We're all for them.
I tell you, I just love.
This is becoming a lost cast. We're not now.
I'd like to thank all the little people.
Haven't heard the love in the common council meeting and I don't know how long. Go ahead, Andrea.
So on the business side of things, because y'all know I'm not that savvy, so like Barbara said, the hearing is scheduled for 6 p.m. It will be in chambers and virtual. We will start with, we'll have 2 maps present, which you can also find them online. They'll be, I don't know how big, but they'll be bigger and big enough to see. We'll be able to walk around and public members can ask questions. And we're going to start the hearing a lot more casual than our typical hearing. Find that to be a little bit more of an approachable method instead of just come speak to us and we won't speak to you, that our public hearings are. So depending on how many people, we'll start the hearing after the official hearing after that. As soon as that's done, we will adjourn the hearing and Rita will take over into the Laws and Rules Committee, but I do welcome everybody's attendance for that. This will be the time that you really get to discuss and debate. And if you haven't been following, which I know all of you have been to some extent, you get to learn a little bit more, plus then absorb all the comments that have come in at the hearing and written comments. So I labeled it as immediately thereafter, so we could start whenever. We don't have to wait for a certain time. The website says 6:30, but that's just so there's time on the web. At least I needed to pick a time. I'm sure it will not, Laws and Rules will not start that early, but who knows? Laws and Rules will decide what maps so that we can get the work done. The next meeting will be the 18th to have everything. That will be the Laws and Rules regular meeting. That will be any tweaks that need to be happened, and then, and save us some wiggle space. On the 19th, that is the first reading of the local law. There isn't a vote, but we do need a quorum. I had, I think, 7 of you commit to being there, so just mark it. It should not be long. We will have public speaking, so the length of the meeting will depend on public speaking. But it starts at 7:30 on the 19th in chambers. And then the second reading will be the 26th, also chambers, 7:30. This will be the second reading and the vote. After that, we pass it on to the Board of Elections for them to do their quick magic, and off we go.
Okay.
So redistricting will be beyond us, but stay tuned for the rezoning, which will follow shortly thereafter, but not as compact. So,
Okay, great.
that's that.
Busy January.
So get your comments in.
Yeah, and Barbara, if you want to wait, I don't know if we want to talk about that, instead of Barbara having to every 10 minutes in case another comment comes in to send us, when would be the latest that you could receive them before the public hearing, that you would be confident in reading them? And that way Barbara could compile them one more time instead of,
Yeah.
5 times per day. Is there would that be okay with everybody, just to take, okay, so what would be the cutoff that you would need? Would the public hearing be 6 o'clock on Thursday? Because we could even say like maybe Thursday morning, but then
What about Wednesday night?
Wednesday night?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Can you plan on doing one
Yeah.
last?
I mean, today I threw an additional one just because I wanted to do that, but my intention was to compile them, but now I know exactly when it would be good to have them.
Yeah, that way you don't have to,
Yeah.
you have to do it each day, 3 times a day, and then everybody has it all at once.
Yeah.
All right, so more comments to come from Barbara at sometime Wednesday night.
So I just want to note that it wasn't, I had the webpage updated today to say that we're no longer considering Plan B, because a lot of the outreach materials were saying, 3 sets of maps. So just to have clarity that we did decide that at a meeting, and Summer was going to post that, but I just want to make sure we have all the public engagement correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, anything else? Comments? Anybody doing anything? No? So you should know about? No? Okay. I think that's it. All right, so with that, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All right, all in favor? Any opposers? All right, so, okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We still desire to attend.
Some time, so.
No.
Do you have anybody else for you at all?
Carl, thanks.
Yeah.
Would it be good to give you what I'm here about?
Yeah.